My name is Jacqueline Penrod, and I'm 54 years old. This is my cat Fargo. He's passed away, but we're still friends. I used to teach art for 30 years as a fine arts teacher, and I taught fashion design as well. In all my 55 years, I would say it's been an incredibly difficult year. First hearing about COVID-19 around, I don't know, February 15th, just after Valentine's Day. Because I grew up in the military, I kind of freaked out about this because in the military, when you're a military family overseas, they tell you certain things to look out for. And this hit a lot of red flags.
Fear on the front lines. ER doctors saying we are on the verge of a medical disaster.
With doctors and nurses running low and now reusing personal protective equipment, communities are
So I remember having a really bad panic attack. And I remember I absolutely had to go grocery shopping. I remember I was in there like 10 minutes and I virtually ran out of the store. I couldn't deal with it. And I got home and I was sweating from head to toe, and I never wanted to do it again, not until something more had been done about like what we should do in public spaces. And we came up with a pretty comprehensive and probably a paranoid plan of how to deal with the virus. So I would go out, I would probably have 2 masks on, I would have goggles on, I would have a hat on, and then whatever clothes I was wearing. As I came into the house, I had to undress, put it in a bag. It would get washed later on in the bathtub, actually, because we didn't want to use our laundry room. That was another point of catching the virus that we had figured out in our building, because they weren't sterilizing it ever. But after I got my family supplied, I think the worst part of it for me is I started having even bigger panic attacks, because we lived in the biggest building in Washington, D.C., 3,000 people. And we weren't getting any guidance from our management of our building. As a matter of fact, they actually shut down operations, the offices went dark, and we were left on our own. So it felt like we were on our own little cruise ship. I mean, we had people from different countries, different ages, a lot of senior citizens. Most of the people were gig workers, and everybody had lost their jobs. I think by June, we had about 10 deaths. We had dozens and dozens of people who've been hospitalized, ventilated, barely made it out. To me, it was, for my generation, the worst catastrophe post-September 11th I had ever seen and ever hope to happen again.